trying to share my screen. Okay, friends, welcome back to another session of not the understanding our mind, understanding mind. So last session we have seen this perceiver, perceived, and wholeness, right? So we have for a conceptual purpose, we have divided the consciousness into the three. And again, how the three are related, and how all together is only the consciousness. All are the same. They are not different. Though to understand, we say perceiver, perceived, and wholeness, but the thing is they are all one and the same. That's what we have learned in the last session. Today we will see the next stanza, that is birth and death. What is the birth and death? So birth, we say, okay, when somebody was born and somebody was died, right? So birth and death are not actually the things that is happening. So birth and death are just depends on the conditions. The consciousness by nature discriminatory manifestation. See, birth and death depends on conditions. That's the first statement. And second is consciousness is by nature discriminatory manifestation. Once the consciousness was started manifesting, it started discriminating. It's me, it's you, it's others, it's inside, it's outside, that kind of thing. Perceiver, perceived depends on each other. So there is nothing like, they cannot be separately existing. Perceiver and perceived, the perceiver is depending on perceived and perceived is depending on the perceiver. A subject and object is as a subject and object of perception. The perceiver is a subject and perceived is an object. As a subject and object of perception, they are together. So we will expand this today. Now, so birth means, what is the birth? Birth means manifestation. So appearance of a phenomena, that is called birth. When somebody born, let us take somebody born. So born means they appeared in this, they manifested, they appeared here, which means it doesn't mean that that person, whoever is born now, is not there before birth. He or she is already there before birth, and now it was manifested in this form. Similarly, the death means it is absence of manifestation. It is cessation of manifestation. It is still there, but you are not seeing. The manifestation is not there. So it is not appearing to you. It doesn't mean that death means it is already done. It is an absence of manifestation, or absence of appearance is called the death. So before birth you are there, after death you are there. Everything is there before birth and after death also. Okay, so here it is only the manifestation when the time, condition, and everything was, all the favorable conditions are there, that manifestation will work, or it is appeared. Both comes from based on the conditions. Both manifestation, that both birth and death comes under conditions. When that conditions, time and everything was suitable, when the favorable conditions were there, then it appears. When we look deeply, we realize that birth and death are only notions. When we look deeply, anything we appear, we realize that birth and death are only the notions. It's nothing other than that. Because we feel that somebody born, somebody died, but they are there. They are coming back. They are dying because birth, you are given. The death is coming with the birth itself, and death is coming, death is going with the birth, because the soul is going to come back again only. So they are all same, they are all interrelated, and also they before that and after that also, that is existing. When we look deeply, anything when we look deeply, we realize, birth and death are notions only. It's nothing like dying, or nothing like actually coming up. The manifestation of something is not the beginning of its existence. Suppose if they say so something is getting manifested, it is not the beginning of existence. Okay, it is already there. Suppose as we so whenever you are thinking something in your mind that got manifested, already whenever you are thinking of it, whenever you just released a thought, that's already manifested. But it is not appearing. When the time conditions, all the conditions are favorable conditions are there, then it appears, then it manifests. When something is not manifesting, when something is not coming, it doesn't mean it is not there. It's already there. But even if something is not manifesting, something is not appearing to you, it is already there. It is already there, but it is not manifesting. It doesn't mean that it is not existing. It exists. So it is only the manifestation or cessation of the manifestation only, but everything exists before and after. Birth is made of death, and death is made of birth. So everything is there, both. Now, suppose the same example that we have taken, right? Last time we have taken an example of snail. Okay, when the snail was retracted, when we are touching that snail, the snail is retracting its antennas to inside. So when the antennas were going inside, do you say that, oh, snail doesn't have antennas? Will you say that? It has an antennas, but it is not appearing to you because it retracted and kept inside. You cannot say that it is not appearing. It is already there. It's not appearing. It's not manifesting. It's not appearing to you. That's all. But the moment you just moved out of it, and it will again open its antennas and it can see. This is water. Similarly, everything in this world is there. Before you born, you are already there. Before you born, you are already there in some other form. Some other physical body or some other form of the universe, you are already there. You do not become nothing. When you die, you do not become nothing. There's nothing like you are just leaving your body and you are still there. And you are still there and you will be going back to that wholeness, whatever that wholeness, perceiver, perceived and wholeness, you are going to that wholeness, that means which is your base, to manifest again. So you need to come back again. So you are going to that base and again to come back. Manifested is not same as non-existence. Remember, unmanifested is not same as the non-existence. So it doesn't mean that if something is not manifested, it doesn't mean that it is not existing. It is existing, but because of the time and conditions, it is not appearing to you. That's all. When it is not appearing to you, doesn't mean that it is not existing. It is still existing. When consciousness manifests, what is happening? When the consciousness is manifesting, what is happening? I'm sorry. My screen is flickering for something. Okay, when consciousness manifests, it does not born at that time. When consciousness manifests, it does not born at that time. When it does not, it won't die at that moment. Like I told you the snail example, right? It is not when you are not appearing, it doesn't not mean. Sorry, some other screen. When it is not appearing, it does not mean. When the consciousness manifests, it does not born. Suppose a baby born, the soul did not born that time. The soul took another body and appeared on this earth planet to some parents. The soul is already there. Before that, the soul is there. If not in the human form, there is some other form also. It could have been there. That soul, that consciousness is existing. And when it is dying, the body only it is leaving, and again that consciousness is existing at that moment also. It won't die at that moment. Like that snail antennas are not going and coming out. Similarly, the consciousness is there and it will be there later also. When consciousness manifests, there is a differentiation there is a differentiation. Whenever the consciousness is manifesting, there is a differentiation. What is that differentiation? Whenever consciousness manifesting, whenever it started manifesting, it started differentiating. This is mine. This is not mine. This is self. This is not the self. So there is a sword kind of thing. It is cutting, dividing. It's cutting and dividing you with others. So whenever that consciousness is manifesting, that is what it is happening. Okay. Okay. So the self, that is the other self, the sword is the cutting, which is dividing into this. So here in the Sanskrit, the consciousness is called vikalpa. The consciousness is called vikalpa. And in the other user, right? So he is also said that this is the Vignapti also. So V here is, that is, V means it is actually differentiating. Perceiver, perceived. The next line, perceiver, perceived. The two of the three concepts, right? There are three concepts. What are the concepts? Perceiver, perceived, and wholeness. These are the three concepts, right? So out of the three concepts, perceiver, perceived, two of the three concepts are the phases of consciousness. They are the phases of consciousness, depending on each other in order to manifest. They should be there. Perceiver should be there, perceived should be there. Then only they'll get manifested, because they are depending on one another. Neither one can exist independently. You cannot. The perceiver cannot exist without perceived, and perceived cannot exist without perceiver. So they both should be there. Okay, neither one can exist independently. Suppose if you got angry on something, so angry means what? Whenever you get an angry, you should be getting angry on someone, or you should be getting angry on something. Do you agree? Without that, you'll not get any angry. There should be some perceiver, something on some incident or something happened. That is why, oh, this should not happen to me. That is the angry. Or someone told you something which you didn't like it. The other person did not meet your expectations. Whatever that you expected, the behavior of him or her, that was not happened. Then you will get angry. So these two things should happen in order for you to get an angry. Otherwise, there is no point of getting angry. You will not get any angry. So perceiver and perceived, right? So these two should be getting, or these two should be independent. Means they are not independent. They are actually dependent on each other. Without one another, they are not actually existing. That's what is saying. My screen is actually today. It's, 1 second. Let me fix this. I don't know why it is going. Okay, at least this came. Okay. Next one is when you love somebody, when you love something. Same thing, like in angry, when you love something or somebody, what will happen? Without a person or without a thing, I love this curry, I love this cuisine, I love my phone. So whatever it is, I love this version of it or something. So, or I love that person, I love my kids. All these things here, you have some perceived something. You are the subject and there is an object. So without that, you are not actually loving, or even jealous. Let us take a jealous also. Without anything happen, you will not feel jealous of anybody. You want something and somebody got it, then you feel jealous. That wind will come because you already want it. That's why the other people, when they get it, you feel jealous of it. Okay, these are all the things. So whenever you have something, whenever you wanted to have something, or whenever there is some feeling is there is a perceiver and perceived, both are there. But again, what you are saying is both will go to the wholeness. Whether love, angry, jealous, or anything, that is all the part of that wholeness is done. They're all the one and the same. That is what we have to understand. Next is talking about the things in themselves, right? Things in themselves. He took an example of women and when pregnant, right? So when one woman became pregnant, the moment she became pregnant, she started thinking of so much, like, okay, how my baby should be, how she will be or he will be, what will be her eyes, what will be her things, all the things, right? So much love that she built up, because because with all the thoughts, whatever the thoughts that you are actually performing, with that thoughts only the baby will grow. Because here, what is that? You didn't see the baby, but what is that you are loving here? Can anybody tell me? You didn't see the baby, right? When the baby is in the, when you are pregnant, when the baby is inside, you didn't see the baby. But what is that you are loving? Anyone, please?
Just the feeling that it's there, it's just imagining.
It's just the imagination. It is just the images. Whatever the images that you are framing in your mind, right? You started loving that particular image. You started with things in themselves. You don't know what is that thing, but you are actually started loving that particular image. So that is the things in themselves, not the actual thing. It things in that. So similarly here we started having so many images. This is mine is also an image. Oh, I earned this. This is mine. My kids is also kind of image. If you take, these are all came from the supreme consciousness. These are all came from only one consciousness. Then you will not differentiate. Here, that's why he said, right? Vikalpa, discrimination, consciousness. When it started manifesting, it started vikalpa. That is, this is self and this is non-self. This is mine and this is not mine. This is inside, that is outside. So that universal comparing will start whenever we started this consciousness started the manifesting it. Suppose the rivers and the whatever the mountains, right? From where these are all came from? How they came up, how they manifested?
With all the lessons, right? Huh? 5 elements, right?
No, that is also consciousness. That is also a consciousness. Yeah. Because if you say that is 5 elements, you are also 5 elements, right?
Yeah, something was perceived or something.
You and me are also the 5 elements only, isn't it? Because everything is the same. Consciousness is manifesting reverse. Suppose when a man is here, or because we know that mineral kingdom came first and all the things, but when man wants to do something, when he is thinking of something, when he wants to have something, then he is manifesting. That means that consciousness is manifesting whatever he or she wants it. Because they don't know, previously there is no aeroplanes. People want to flew from one place to another. So they started thinking in that lines that got manifested. Isn't it?
Yeah, somebody's imagination.
Everything is the manifestation of, it's not imagine, it's the thinking. We are thinking, we are manifesting. With our thoughts, we are actually manifesting. That's how the mind, that's how the mind is. So that is why we all, everywhere, the Patri sir used to say, always keep positive thoughts or miraculous thoughts. Don't keep any negative thoughts in your mind, because whatever the thought you are making, it is getting manifested. You may not see today, it is manifesting. So whenever it is actually the time and the condition comes, it appears. Otherwise, the thought is already manifested somewhere, and it should appear when the time and condition is favorable.
Yes.
So when we look at these rivers, stars, sky, all these things we see, when you are seeing the deep blue sea, everything is the manifestation of this consciousness only. These are all the objects of the perception. So these are all the individuals, and these are all the objects of that particular perception, isn't it? So everything is an object.
Yes.
This is nothing but the consciousness. So everything is only the consciousness. So here we are saying the Sanskrit word, as I told you, right? Vignapti, the consciousness, the word is Vignapti. In Sanskrit they say, but one of the Vasubandhu, he wrote a deep about that consciousness. He wrote a 30 verses on consciousness. In that he said Vignapti. Vignapti means usually, in our case, what is Telugu in Vignapti means? To inform or to give some information. Vignapti chestunnanu. So which means it is some information we are giving, some. So Vignapti means to manifest, to inform, to give some information. So Vignapti, we here, whether it is a Vijnana or Vignapti, the we means we is distinguish, discern, analyze, understand. So we in Sanskrit means it's a distinguish, discern, analyze and understand. When something is not manifested, if it is manifested, it is Vignapti. When something is not manifested, it is Avignapti. It is there still, but it is not manifested. You are not able to see. That is Avignapti. Let us say a small example. Suppose by seeing it, palm, can you say anybody know the calligraphy or not? By seeing the palm, can you say that person know the calligraphy or not?
No.
No. But when he started taking a pen and writing something, when he started writing, then do you know that when he's having a calligraphy skills or not?
Yeah.
Yes. So when you are seeing the palm, doesn't mean that he doesn't have the calligraphy skills. He has it, but you are not able to see his skill. That is where Avignapti. You got it. He has a skill, but you are not able to see that one. So it was not manifested. You are not able to see because you perceive it. So it is Avignapti. But once he started writing, then you are able to see it got manifested. You are able to perceive the skill. So he say that this is like good at calligraphy. Similarly, everything in this world, right? Everything in this world was whenever you got that capacity to see, then you will see. When you don't have the time and condition when favorable, you were able to see because it got manifested. When it is not manifested, it is still there. It is still there. That is all the in Vignapti, when it is not showing also, it is still there. That is what we have to remember. Okay. So that is the Avignapti. That's what in that case we call it as a Avignapti.
So there are two things, right? One is like it may already been manifested, but like that snail, it's inside, but we could not see. The connection is not there somehow, because once the person is writing, then you can see his skill. So it's already maybe there, but we are not seeing it. The connection is not there.
No, the connection means that you are not able to see. You are not able to see because it was whenever you are, because it doesn't mean, what I'm trying to say is when you are not able to see, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have a calligraphy skills. I'm giving an example, that one, because still he has a calligraphy skills, right? But you are not able to see that. That's why you're not able to recognize. Similarly, what I'm saying is here everything is there already. But whenever you are able to see, you are saying that he was born. He did that. Suppose today some X was born as your son. Okay, I will say that, oh, he is my son. Whenever I could see that, oh, my son, my lovely son, all the things I will say. But in the next life, the same me is there, the same he is there, but he was born somewhere and I was born. Even if I see, can I recognize?
No.
Because he is not in that costume. He is not in that body. I am not in that body. He cannot recognize me as a mother and I cannot recognize him as a son.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So which means that it doesn't mean that because once we die, it doesn't mean that I am not there. Isn't it? So I am still there.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, similarly, now forget about it. He is continuing his life. I died. I came back. Can he recognize?
No.
No. So because everything is existing, that is what here is saying, birth and death is just the mere incidents. It is existing before, it will be existing after. Because it is all the consciousness only. It is all one consciousness only. That's what he is saying, right?
Yeah.
That's what the ultimate goal here, that what I wanted to say in the birth and death is, just because we cannot say, see or recognize. I'm sorry. My screen is already playing. I couldn't see. Just because we cannot see or recognize, it doesn't mean that it does not exist. Meaning we do not truth or conscious manifestation anything fully. It is always our perception. Exactly. That's the thing. Okay. That's the gist of it. Whatever he mentioned it in the chat. Okay, that is what the birth and death that I like to talk about today. I'm so sorry. Let me go to the next one. Next one is this is the one. Continuous manifestation. The next verse is continuous manifestation. In individual and collective manifestation, self and non-self are not two. In individual and collective manifestation, self and non-self are not two. The cycle of birth and death is achieved in every moment. Consciousness evolves in the ocean of birth and death. Remember this, we will expand in the next few minutes. Individual and collective. We already learned about what is an individual, what is a collective manifestation. In this, self and non-self are not two. Okay, they are not two, they are all the same. The cycle of birth and death is achieved every moment. Every moment we are born and we are dying. How we will see. Consciousness evolves. Rajni can expand because she is a biology student. Consciousness evolves. Sorry, Andy. I don't know what is happening today, my sister. Consciousness evolves in the ocean of birth and death. In this ocean of birth and death, the consciousness is always evolves. Evolves means whenever you are taking each and every birth and death, then you are evolving yourself. That is what actually each birth and death, what we are doing is each lifetime that we came, we are evolving ourselves. We should evolve. If we are not evolving, it's a coming and going is mere waste. That is why all these spiritual gurus are coming and teaching us, oh, you evolve it, you learn who you are, why you came, what is the purpose of your life. All these things, so many gurus are coming and teaching us to learn who are you and achieve your purpose, isn't it? So you have to evolve as a soul, you have to evolve. That consciousness should evolve. Okay. Any phenomena, continuous manifestation, how any phenomena, material, psychological or physiological, whatever the phenomena, we can see how much individuality and how much collectively is in it. Suppose if you see me, so the people who know my parents, they will say, oh, you look like your mom, or you look like your dad, or you are doing same as your mother, you are doing the same as your father. So something like that, which means every person will have some individual and some collective. Some collective manifestations will be there. We have seen that how the collective manifestations will happen, or collective things will be there. So each thing, whenever you are seeing deeply, there will be some individual and there will be some collective. Here is giving an example, plum village, because Thich Nhat is, they have a plum village in that France, right? So, sorry, not in the France, somewhere. In that plum village, we know all the monks and all those people, they are living, right? So there is two hamlets, like upper hamlet and lower hamlet. For one people, when they are actually walking from the upper to lower, they see, oh, it's very short. For the same thing, for some other people, they say it's too long. Same distance, same thing. But few people will say it's a very short, you can easily walk. And few people will say it's a very long and it's not. Because it is just the perception, just the thing, your energy, your thinking. Suppose if you got a phone call in that walk, so in general, in our case, I'm saying, so whenever there is a phone call, right, you don't even feel like that much walk you did it. You will do it. But whereas if you don't have anything, you just kept your phone and you wanted to mindful of walking, then you feel like whenever you are actually observing each and every moment and you are seeing everything, right? You feel you walked along because you are actually putting your presence of mind in each and every step and you are actually seeing everything, right? So then you feel it is too long. It could be. So it is all that perception. So it one people, it's a continuous manifestation. See, same person, the same thing. When you have a phone, you in the same walk area, when you walked, you manifested or you perceived something else. Whereas when you just put down your phone at home and you went for the walking, you have a mindful walking, then you perceived something else. You are the same person. That is the same route. But still, you are perceiving the different things. That is what actually the mindfulness, right? Whenever you have it. So each person will have, suppose same route, there are 4 people went. You saw something, the other person saw something, the other person might have felt the different thing. Because it's a continuous manifestation. Each one is perceiving a different things in the same route. We need to practice. What we need to practice, look deeply. Everything you have to look deeply. That's what. You should not, walking means just not like that, just eating also, not just eating. Each and every bite, he says that he had a series of books, how to eat, how to walk, how to think. He had a series of small books. I read those things. He explains very beautifully. Each and every time, you need to involve there 200%. You have to give your 200% there and involve yourself. You have to look deeply in order to see how it is happening. Then you will see everything, how individuality, how much is collectively it is happening, how individually that it is happening. Are there any objects of our perception? Everything you will be able to see. Table, let us take one table is there. If I say here is the table, then I say, oh, this is good for my laptop. This is good for my workspace. I can keep my 2 laptops and or I can keep 2 screens there. It's a big enough that this is what I can think. Okay. Or if it is a center table, oh, it's a good to my, what is that? To my office area, sorry, to my living area, this will be good. That's what I'm thinking. But if you are same table, if that consciousness is looking from the woodworm, what it will think? Oh, it's a huge banquet. I can eat this for a number of days. It can last for many months. I can slowly eat. I need not search for the food. That is the woodworm perception. Same the consciousness which was thinking in terms of woodworm, the same table is perceiving differently. The same table was perceiving differently when that consciousness is manifesting as a human being. It is how it's a different that is how the consciousness will perceive the same thing differently. Seed of anger is an individual manifestation. We say the seed of anger, right? Whenever there is an anger, we say it is a individual I think, okay, I'll stop it here. So whenever there is a seed, right, anger seed is there. It is an individual. I got angry. It is a individual manifestation only. But the effect, suppose if I got angry, I'll start yelling. Whatever the small thing, it'll happen. Oh, I'll shout at my family, kids, or anything. So they will. So they may have some bad day because they may already have some bad day and came from the school. And if I started yelling, they may yell me back again. So are there some other people, some cousins or some grandparents call, they may yell at them because this will pass on to the thing. So what is happening here? The anger is a one person, individual, but the effects is going across the countries. There are so collectively, the suffering is going to the collectively. See, when the consciousness is same, if one person is affecting, it's a ripple effect. Everything is getting affected. When I talk so lovely, when my heart was filling with the love, when I talk so lovely with my kids, even if they had a bad day, as soon as they come from the school, if I say that, okay, if I give some good words and all the things, then they feel good. Whatever that happened at the school, they may forget it. And whenever there is a next call comes, right, they will answer it very politely, and they'll have a good day. Okay, which means again the effect, right? Whatever the effect that it is having, it is across the so many people. So here, the individual conscious, the love or the anger or a jealous, it could be the same individual thing, but it is happening across but the results is happening so many places. Results are happening with across the people. It's a collective consciousness it is going. Did you understand what is the difference now? Individual and the collective? Any questions? Or anyone can, do you want to expand anything there?
Yeah. The one more thing is, even if a person be in a big gathering, suppose he's addressing the gathering, and if he gets angry, and if he shouts or else at the at the crowd, or even one or two people in that crowd who is next to him, the whole crowd gets agitated.
Yes.
That is how, even though only the one individual is getting angry, this affects the same way the whole nation gets affected when the ruler is not acting properly when he acts angrily, with anger.
Yes.
So
yeah, we can take the same example of that Hitler, right? He's an individual consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah.
But his words
actions
got affected. His
words
actions,
and actions.
The suffering got affected so many people.
Yeah. So many nations.
So many nations, people across the countries, he could able to we take that example even in the power of speech or Vakshetram, right? In that also we take this example, how powerful the speech is. Here, just that individual consciousness is getting affected with the so many places, so many people. That's how it affects. So here what we understand is, here it is not that, it is the manifestation is that if we are ripple effect, if we are actually doing once, it is getting everywhere, because everything is the consciousness.
Yes.
Why it is getting affected? Suppose in your home, and if you are taking in a home, suppose if I am not well today, I am not well, let us take, so I couldn't cook it, I couldn't cook today. So what is happening? The entire family is not able to eat. They have to go, they have to search, or they need to order something. If that order is not good, that effect is there in the entire family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if one person is, because we are feeling that we are all just that one, we are all just the different people. We are thinking because it is a family, it is getting affected. But in the other case of Hitler or anything, or the crowd that you said, they are not the family. But still, when one person said, it is getting affected by all. The reason is we are all the same consciousness.
Yes.
That is what I'm trying to say here is, we are all the same consciousness. Because of that, we are getting affected.
Yeah.
That's what we have to understand here. What is the second point in that stanza that we learned? Let me go to the stanza at least to explain more. Release. Now I went to my consciousness. 32 is done, right? Not 34 we are doing it, I guess. 33 is done. 34, in the individual and collective manifestation, self and non-self are not two. That's what we have learned. The cycle of birth and death is achieved every moment. The next one is the cycle of birth and death is happening every moment. Here he is given few more examples. The seeds of anger of the individual manifestation becomes the suffering for the all others that we have seen. Suppose the ozone hole, right? The ozone layer, there is a hole. So how much it is getting affected? Because that is also consciousness, right? Again, ozone layer, that is also consciousness. When there is some hole, it is getting affected with so many people that are living on the earth. It is getting affected. The suffering is more. Similarly, the happiness and suffering of somebody living in Cambodia is linked with happiness and suffering somebody lived in North America. How?
Yeah.
Because if the parent is there and if the son is here, because it's the same consciousness, but still, when the family, so that is getting affected. So in turn, when that is getting affected, in turn the people around him also get affected, isn't it? So we have to distinguish. We have to, in the beginning, we started distinguish self or non-self. But when you are evolving as a soul, we have to stop distinguishing that me and you. You are separate and me are separate, right? You should stop. You should stop that. Suppose if you are taking care of like a wife and husband, you are in the family. If you are taking good care of your partner, then that care will come to you, and you see that. Suppose if you are not taking good care of it, that non-taking care of it or whatever the negligence, that is also come to, not only to you, it comes to many people. The suffering will go to many people because because whenever he is not happy, he or she is not happy, right? That shows on kids, that shows on it goes on the ripple effect. For centuries, the nations that are called, here he has given a good point, for centuries, the nations that are called the developed, so-called supreme nations, if they are not having that selflessly, if they are not behaving selflessly, if they behave only selfish, and only if they are taking care of only their national interest only, then what will happen is their economy will go down. Their own cultures will go down. And the countries which are developing may be coming as developed, and this may fall into the developing. That's what, even if you see that in when we are as the kids, right? What is that great country that the powerful country? USSR is so much powerful when we are studying, when we are in the schools and all. But now is it there anything? We have seen, right? Similarly, the US is now, it is the top country, or it is having it. But if you follow the geopolitics and all those things, they are saying that the India will boom up, and they'll go they'll become a developed country, and the America will fall into the developing country. That's what people are saying. That's what the speculations. But here he is saying, whenever the country, even though it is a developed, even though it is an advanced, even though it has all the education of the things, but when they have the responsibility. When it is a developed, it has the responsibility of seeing the third world countries, taking care of the third world countries. When it does not behave, when it just behaved, when its love is only as long as their needs were satisfied. We are seeing, I don't want to quote all these political examples. Whenever we are seeing some of the countries' actions, their actions will be, their love will be there on the other country as long as it is serving for this country. Then if you are actually doing that, then you have written your fall. Here, all the countries are so interdependent. We are like every person is interdependent, right? The countries are also interdependent. When the country was developed country, the co-rising is a concept that people has to remember, and it has to take care of the other countries. If it is not taking care of that underdeveloped countries, then naturally this own economy will go down, and most developed nations will fall with the climb of many things, and they fall as like so many colonies were decolonized. Similarly, these developed countries falls under the developing countries or underdeveloped countries. That's what they are saying, developed countries. But their motivation, right? So whenever you are doing, whenever you are having the technology and economy, all these things, suppose some people, they started, that's what developed countries, they started supporting the country, thinking that because you are supporting, you will have the market for your products. That is again selfish thoughts. If you are having that selfish thoughts, with that selfish thoughts, if you started supporting a country, then you will not be actually, because of your commodities, it is not that you are supporting some third world country. You should be supporting to become that country also should become. Nations also should learn the lesson of interbeing. If the nations are not learned the lessons of interbeing, the fall is written. That's what here the author is saying. At first, we have to establish that self and non-self are not separate. Even the nationwide also, you are different. You are so developed. You are so different. That kind of nature you should stop. Slowly, we should stop that separation, and we should start living that that is co-living concepts. We have to be there. Using the idea of non-self, we are able to go beyond the idea of self. But the idea of non-self is also danger. Non-self is also a danger because we go either self or non-self. That is not there. That is also. So what we should get it, both are permanent. They both are not permanent. They are the same. That kind of concept we have to come. So many Buddhists or the non-Buddhists talk about the non-self is the way of showing that they caught in the ideas. They still caught in the ideas. So if you are still saying that this, the Dvaitam and Advaitam, let us take on this. So if you will say that everybody is the same, right? Everybody is the same and everybody, the God is there. God is there in everywhere. So that is Advaita. How can you explain the Advaita? When you know the concept of Dvaita, when we are in the Dvaita, then only you can expect the concept of Advaita. When there is a darkness, then only you can explain the concept of light.
By eliminating
Dvaita, it, you can explain the concept of light. So here also self and non-self are the two concepts. Okay. So when even if you caught up the self or even if you caught up a non-self, still with that world. But these two are the same wholesome. They are all the same. It is all the consciousness. When you got to know, then only you will not be able to you will be able to go to the beyond these thoughts. We look deeply. We have to look deeply into the any person. Then you will see that individual and collective manifestation, how it is happening. How to wait, how to we need not wait to reborn to die. What he is saying, we need not wait to die to reborn. Every day we are dying. How? Every cell in our body, cells are dying every day. We are not the same person. The cells are dying and again reborn. So if you start, he is saying, if you start mourning for the every cell, then you will not have time to do any other things. Every day you have to do mourning only because every day you are dying. Every day you are dying and you need not born to reborn. You need not die today. So anyway, your cells are dying and it is rebirthing every day in and day out. Rebirth is neither straight nor the winding path. It is just that consciousness expansion. Many winding paths make the cycle of rebirth. It is every instant we are receiving the input. Every instant we are receiving the thoughts from universe, society, our food, our education, our loves, our hates. Every minute we are actually manifesting so many things. Every minute the consciousness is learning so much things. Some of the things we are actually, forget about anything. We are just taking the air. We are leaving the carbon dioxide. Every minute we are actually giving the birth and death. Every minute it is happening. So similarly here, not only this 8 consciousness, even though we say that there are 8 consciousness, 5 sense consciousness, store of consciousness, mind consciousness, manas consciousness, they're all belongs to the consciousness only. They're all the same only. They are not separate. They're all coming to from same one consciousness. It's coming. When you understand this, the concept of fear, non-fear, you will get it. When you have that, okay, there is nothing to lose. Everything is a consciousness manifestation only. If some person died, he didn't go anywhere. It's already existing. He is just disappeared and he'll come back. When you have that kind of understanding, that there is nothing like you will fear about. You will feel, because for the man, the biggest fear is death. So when you understand there's no death, no birth, then there's no fear. Then you will be able to live fearlessly. That is what here is trying to have the consciousness. There is a couple of paragraphs, but I already ran out of the time. So I'll just conclude the next session. And before I go for the next. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, Mrunalini. I think I ran out of time. I didn't see.
Not at all, Prasanna. I'm sure just like me, everybody was lost in listening. It was a beautiful session. So beautifully taught. Thank you very much, Prasanna.
Yeah, it was like because these are concepts are all we know, but only thing is it is again like how do you say, every day we need to learn in order to remember every minute.
Yes, like constant reminders.
They are constant reminders, yes. Okay, thank you all. Any questions?
Is this on YouTube or because I could not get in, I had to turn off and turn on my internet connection.
No, it's there in the YouTube. It's there in the YouTube only.
Oh, okay. I missed it in the beginning. Yeah, half of the way. Yeah, very good session, Prasanna.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Mrunalini.
Thank you very much, Prasanna, for taking time and doing this session for us. Thank you, everybody.